Hello, this video is about Phillip Schenck, federal number 497-56177. Phillip was sentenced to 40 years in prison, a nonviolent drug offender. Phillip is another individual that questionable testimony was used. There is also testimony that was later proved not to have come from the individual they said it came from. We are working diligently and very hard to get Phillip's case and situation into the right hands to make this right. Phillip is an individual that, by his own words, will tell you that he is not innocent, that he had a drug addiction, that he sold drugs to support that habit. But Phillip is not the individual that he was made out to be. The drug quantities that were used in his case are not real. He is part of a larger group of people that we feel or that we know were misrepresented and not given the right to a fair hearing. We hope that all of you will continue to be involved, that you would share this video, that you would subscribe to the channel as more people share their stories. Please listen to Phillip with an open ear and an open heart. There's a petition in the description of the video. Please click the link. There's a small arrow that points downwards. If you click that, description will fall down and you can click the link there. Thank you all for your support and your kindness. God bless. Hello?
You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. This call is from
Phillip Schenck,
an inmate at a federal prison. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to decline the call or to accept. Dial 5 now. If you wish to block it.
Hello?
Hello? Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
So I just wanted to tell you that we were recording this for your video. Are you ready for that?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. Okay, if you could just give us a little background information about you. What is your full name?
My name is Phillip George Schenck. My inmate number is 497-56177. Right now,
Go ahead.
Right now, I'm at the USP Terre Haute, and the address here is P.O. Box 33, Terre Haute, Indiana, 47808.
And do you have any children?
I do have children. I have an older child who is 26 this year.
Wow.
I have a 10-year-old this year, and I have a boy I consider my stepson. He's going to be 10 this year also.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. You know, when you bring yourself back to being a young person, is there some things that you wanted to do, some goals, dreams you wanted to accomplish?
Yeah, I've always kind of wanted to be get in the military and be a fighter pilot, and then I actually had it well thought out as a child. I wanted to be a fighter pilot, and then I wanted to go to commercial airline business is what I like to do. My uncle that raised me, he was in the airline business, and I was always fascinated with airplanes.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. So from that point until now, where do you feel like things started to take a turn for the worst for you?
Well, when I was about 14, of course, the use of drugs is where it took the major turn. But really, it started out whenever I was young. I was about 3 years old. My dad murdered my mother, and
Oh, goodness.
and another gentleman, and this we were actually left at the murder scene, me and my brother, for about 6 hours.
Goodness.
And I had PTSDs from this, as a child, and they considered it being ADHD. So at an early age, I was actually introduced to an amphetamine, which was Ritalin. They put me on Ritalin. So then later in life, at about 14, a family member of mine actually introduced me into the drug world, into criminal activity. And it seems, it was more just like dibbling in drugs at first, just partying on weekends and stuff. And then at about 20, my late 20s, I tried methamphetamines, and I was instantly hooked. And it seems ever since then that I've just been addicted. I've had a bad addiction with the methamphetamines and the criminal aspect, the criminal world that goes along with it, it seems.
Yeah, yeah. When it comes to this conspiracy itself, how did you end up getting involved, and what was your role in that?
Really, how I got involved was just the trying to support my drug habit.
Right.
Was the main thing. I was a contractor at first, and I was doing a subcontractor doing electrical and HVAC, and then I started back on with.
This call is from a federal prison.
I started back using drugs through a breakup with a fiance of mine at the time, and I just couldn't hold my job down. It seemed after I started using drugs again, and then I just got back into the supplicated my income with the selling of drugs. This is pretty much what happened.
So, when you first get indicted, was there a drug quantity tied to your indictment?
I don't really remember. It seems it fluctuated a lot. That even my lawyer seemed kind of confused at times at what the drug quantity was.
Did you sign a factual resume for a certain quantity of drugs?
I did sign a factual resume, but it was for a conspiracy to sell 50 grams, and then they just put or more.
Okay.
And
so your initial factual resume, it was 50 grams or more.
Yes, sir.
At sentencing, did that change? What was the amount that you were sentenced to?
At the sentencing, it ended up being like 17,000 grams by the end of it.
17,000 grams. Wow.
Yes.
So during the court process, is there ever a discussion about how much time you're facing or what they're thinking you're looking at?
Yeah, actually, my judge or my lawyer was telling a lady friend of mine at the time that I was going to get 10 and under. So when he came and visited me, I looked at him and I said, "Hey, you can lie to me, but don't lie to my lady friend." I said, "Don't lie to her about this." I said, "You're telling her you'll get me 10 and under." And he said, "I'm sure I can." He goes, "I've interned in this guy's court. I know this judge." He goes, and he told me that he goes, lawyers, we can't promise anything. He goes, "But I'm sure that I can get you 10 and under." Really, signing guilty on this factual resume, considering this was really not, 10 years is a big deal, but there's a big difference between 10 and 40.
So, had you heard of your sentencing judge prior to this?
As soon as I hit the Parker County Jail, everybody's like, "Oh, you got McBride, hang 'em high, McBride." Oh my gosh, that guy said he was going to give away 1,000,000 years before he retired. That's what I heard from everybody.
So walk us through sentencing. What was that like? Who was there, and were there any arguments made on your behalf?
Okay, there's my family was there. My aunt and uncle that raised me. My girlfriend, actually, it was my wife at the time, and her mother was there. They were there, and my lawyer explained to them and explained to me also not to have. It was weird not to have any emotion during the trial. He was like, "Don't show. If you get what you want, don't be like happy or clap or anything. If you don't get what you want, don't cry or don't, because the judge." He said that the judge will frown upon this. So it was like a real kind of like weird, scary setting from the jump, from the way my lawyer set it up.
So what happens? You sit down and
Well, they go through the proceedings and everything, and then the PSR comes up, and I told the lawyer from jump, I said, listen, I'm paying you, so I'm going to take your recommendation of what I should do. I'm going to listen to you. I'm paying you for this, so I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to go with what you say. So I ended up having 18 objections to my PSR, from the amount, from the people that proffered on me, from their proffer deals of what they said about me, from my affiliation with different gangs, with different cartels, with having a drug stash house, with importation from Mexico.
This call is from a federal prison.
Just a bunch of stuff that I don't even, it was like they just made the stuff up. I don't even know where it came from. And so I had 18 objections throughout the course of talking with this judge.
And what was his response to your objections?
Well, he warned me that if I stuck with my objections, if I went further with them, that I would not get my acceptance of responsibility. Which I thought if you pled guilty to a crime, you were accepting responsibility for that crime. He told me, since I didn't agree with what the PSR lady said, and I had objections, that I didn't accept the responsibility of those, of the crime. So,
what were you ultimately sentenced to?
I was sentenced to 480 months, 40 years.
And what was your reaction and your family's reaction when you heard that?
Oh, it just devastated me. It took the wind out of me. I looked at my family and I seen the look on their face, and that's what really killed me. It's my aunt walking out of the courtroom. She said, so I heard her tell my uncle. She said his dad didn't get that amount of time. It's just it's still devastating.
What has it been like for your family since then? Visitation, communication. How has that been?
I'm able to call and I'm able to have true links or talk to them on the email. I haven't had a visit probably in about 2 or 3 years now because of the space in between us. I'm about 850 miles away from my family. My aunt and uncle that raised me are elderly. My sister has a family. She can't just afford to pay for a flight, a hotel stay, a car rental, and everything to come all the way out here. So, and my children, I get to talk to my stepson regularly. I just started talking to my 26-year-old again, and I'm not allowed to. And my rights have been taken away from my youngest one, and I'm not allowed to talk to him at this time.
Goodness, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's rough.
Especially when you say that the things that were brought up about you are not true, and to know that they're not true and still have all of that time is absolutely devastating. And I'm sorry. We're going to do all that we can. Since your incarceration, what have you done to better yourself or to do better?
I know you probably heard this a lot, mentally, physically, and spiritually is what they always say, but it's really true. Mentally, I've done the Life Connections program, which is a spiritual-based program. It's supposed to be 18 months, but it really takes about 2 years. I've graduated it. The classes I've taken are Ancient Egyptian Civilization, Public Speaking, Biblical Greek, Crochet, Commercial Driver's License, Wellness, Basic Nutrition, Wellness Cardio, Billiards, Drug Education, Inside Out Dad, the Impact of Crime on Victims. I've done a mock job fair. I've done occupational reentry seminars, boundary seminar, and a PTSD seminar. I've got certificates for all of these that I've partook in. I've also really studied up spiritually on me and my God and my inner self, and and I've really and done a lot of historical, study up on Egyptian and Roman history, which was pretty much the era around Jesus Christ, and that's pretty much what I've done.
That's a blessing. That is an absolute blessing. That's something to be proud of. You know, the purpose of this video is to allow people to know your situation. Also, in the description of the video, there'll be a petition asking for relief from your sentence. You know, I know that there's certain parts of your case that we are currently trying to assist in, and that others are trying to assist in, that can't necessarily be talked about. I know it's about to shut off here in a minute, but if you could call us back, I'd like to finish the conversation. Are you able to call us back?
Yes, it's going to take about 30 to 40 minutes for the phone to renew where I can call you back. It is 7:08 here, so give me about 7:40 or about 7:45, and I'll be calling you back.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello?
You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. This call is from
Phillip Schenck,
an inmate at a federal prison. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to decline the call or to accept. Dial 5 now. If you wish to block...
Hello? Yes.
How you doing?
Good. Yourself?
Good.
So,
just calling you back.
Yes. So I think we left off where we were discussing the purpose of the video. So you had given, all of the things that you had been doing since you've been in there to better yourself. The purpose of this video is to bring a light to your situation along with others. Not only were you given an excessive sentence, but you were also a part of what we believe to be a larger group of people that receive sentences based on information that we don't believe is true or even supported by the people that are said to have said these things. And our goal here is that in the description of this video, there's going to be a petition asking for the president to commute your sentence, not only because it was harsh, but because there are facts that are available that show that some of the drug weight is not real, and the amount of time, the 40-year sentence you received, does not coincide with your crime. As you said, you were a struggling addict. You made some poor decisions, and yes, you did deserve a punishment for those decisions, but it's supposed to represent the crime and give you the ability to rehabilitate and enter back into the society, not to end your life. So to all of the people that we're asking to sign this petition and get involved with your case, what do you have to say to them about what a second chance would mean for you and why this sentence is excessive?
Well, for one, I've had an addiction problem all my life, and from what I understand, because of the classes I've taken, that addiction is a disease, and I don't understand why that I've been treated such, because I do have a disease. Like you said, I believe that it's rehabilitatable. I believe that the answer is not to make a warehouse of men and throw away the key. And I just really, if I did have a second chance, I would get back out there, and I would, for one, I would do something different this time. I've never really done a 12-step program, but I know a lot of people that's done it. It works for them, so I'd probably try that, get back into contracting, and get back. I was showing up a little bit with a ministry called Six Stones Ministry out there, which was helping elderly people with their properties in their houses that aren't able to do for themselves. I'd probably get back into that again and really be there this time for my children, for my older children and for my younger children, and just really the main thing I would really just, if I had a second chance, is that, I mean, the Lord get the glory. I would really, like to share my testimony with people. I would like to help troubled youth, but not only talk to them, but actually talk to their parents also, because a lot of times as parents, whenever we deal with, drug problems and stuff within our children, we're really confused about what to do or how to handle the situation. And just talk to them, talk to troubled children, and use my testimony as a witness to them, and let them know that some of the things that I've seen that they don't want to go through. And I got a lot of love to give. I really do. My aunt and uncle, they're at a place where they could really use me around right now in their life, because they're not able to do all that they could do before. And I just like to be there for my sister and my brother and my niece and nephews. And just, like I said, I'm still a person that, I see a laughing child on TV or a puppy dog or a kitten, I still get emotional. I still, it makes me to laugh or puts a tear in my eye. I've really fought becoming a product of my environment in here. And just like I said,
This call is from a federal prison.
I think I got a lot of love to give, really, out there.
Absolutely. I want to thank you for your time and being vulnerable and honest with us and talking to us about everything. I just want to thank everybody again for not missing the opportunity to get involved, to do what's right. It's a saying that we always use here, but with knowledge comes responsibility. Once you're made aware of a situation or a problem, you have a responsibility. There's a requirement for action. Either you do something or you do nothing. In this case, we're asking that you would click the description of this video and click on the petition for Phillip. His contact information is also in the description of the video. He could use words of encouragement through this time. We just thank you all. Please continue to share the videos, subscribe to the channel as new people share their videos and they share their voices. We just want to thank everybody. This is a very real and serious cause, and it matters. Thank you all, and God bless.